My name is Timmy. Yeah. Next slide, please. Oh, yeah. Let me introduce my team. So this is Ara. And this is Felumi. He's our vice president. And this is Tolu. So what is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment is a type of harassment involving the use of explicit or implicit sexual overtones, including the unwelcome and inappropriate promises of rewards in exchange for sexual favors. Sexual harassment includes a range of actions from verbal transgressions to sexual abuse or assault. And we want to introduce 7 facts about sexual harassment when it comes to teens.
I'll be doing facts number 1 and 2. So a major problem that occurs with sexual harassment is that although your parents may know about the topic and the issues that surround sexual harassment, they don't share that information with their children. And a problem is that a 2017 report study produced by the Harvard School of Education found that only a quarter of teens and young adults have ever had a conversation with their parents about how to avoid sexually harassing others. So this means that the majority of people, young adults, children, everybody, most of them, they don't really understand what it means, what sexual harassment means. So that means that the young people are left to their own devices to understand what sexual harassment is, how to figure out how to figure out what sexual harassment means. So this topic is a very subtle topic. It's very sensitive. That when it occurs, they might not even know that it's happening when it happens to them. So most teens don't understand the full enormity of this issue, and they're not hearing from their parents about why sexual harassment is a big deal, how it impacts victims, and the consequences of getting caught with it. So parents, I urge all of you to talk to your parents, your preteens, even your own friends about sexual harassment, so you can avoid your child either being a harasser or being a victim of this. And before it is too late, do not be silent, and please speak up for the sake of your own children. There's a Bible verse, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6, that states, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." So fact number 2 is that women can also be sexual harassers. So a longitudinal study published in June 2017, the issue of Prevention Science Journal, found that 17% of girls who have been sexually harassed by someone in person or online, compared to 23% of boys who have reported the same. So not only can sexual harassment be in person, but it can also be unsolicited photos online, any touching, anything. It can also be an online issue. And surprisingly, it means 42% of sexual harassers are also female. So while it's known, or while it's a prejudice that boys are traditionally the aggressors or the predators, females can also be a predator, which spreads sexual rumors of forcibly touching someone in a sexual way. Girls are not, they're not exempted from that rule or that statistic as well.
So my name is Ara, and I'll be talking about facts 3 and 4. So number 3 is sexual harassers start young. The average age of first sexual harassment perpetration is 15 years old. And despite this, there are still children who are harassing peers before they even enter high school. So that means when they're still in like elementary school or even like middle school. And this is especially like bad because they're at a developmental age, this adolescent age, and their minds are still in development. And when these things happen to them, it can leave their minds like ruined. And if they don't get the help they need, it can stick with them for the rest of their lives. A study profiled by the BBC suggests that young people, and especially girls, who endure this unwanted kind of sexual attention may experience mental health issues and suffer from self-harm, suicidal thoughts, maladaptive dieting, as well as substance abuse. Number 4. Next slide. All right. Number 4, sexual harassment is not flirting, and they should never be mistaken with one another. So sexual harassment, it's not a boy pulling a girl's hair because he really likes her, or trying to play fight with her. And the AAUW found that only 3% of harassers did so because they wanted a date with the person, or they thought that the person liked it. And this means that sexual harassers, they know what they're doing. It's not flirting, and it's not a misunderstanding. 39% of sexual harassers do so because they think it is funny, or they use it as a tool to degrade someone because they feel they have power over them.
Hello, my name is Felumi, and I will be talking about fact number 5 and fact number 6. So among the several facts listed regarding sexual harassment, fact number 5 states that those who condone this act tend to minimize it. A study found that 44% of teens who have sexually harassed someone think that their actions are no big deal. Through this, it wouldn't be wild to say that many people who do these actions don't really think that has a huge impact on others. However, it does. Presuming that it may be minor to call a coworker or friend a certain way or touch them in an uncomfortable manner, what must be known is that these people who perform sexual harassment don't even know that they're doing it, which is something that must be called out. Now moving on to fact number 6. Sexual harassment could be an act of revenge. Going back at somebody for what they did to you previously, just getting back at them. In fact, it could even represent a way for a perpetrator who is experiencing emotional pain to really deal with this by hurting others. They feel hurt, and so they have to kind of redirect that hurt onto others. Most sexual assaults are committed by somebody the victim knows, which is wrong. And so, for my concerned parents out there, or people in the audience, I don't want to pressure you, but I want to inform you that there is so much help available. Even the fellow sitting right next to you could be a source of emotional help for finding the things that you are going through. You must know that you are not alone. And I pray that you seek God's help to protect and deliver you from any problems. God will answer your prayer in the mighty name of Jesus.
Oh my. So our last and final fact, fact number 7, is that those who have sexually harassed others have actually been the victim once in their lives. The AAU study found that the vast majority of harassers said they had experienced sexual harassment, which is 92% of girls and 80% of boys. Similarly, the Prevention Science study found that sexual harassment victims are significantly more likely to become perpetrators compared to those who have never experienced such abuse. And sadly, teenagers with a history of rape victimization had a 5-fold increase in relative odds of sexual harassment. That means that those who have experienced rape in the early stages of their life actually tend to express that same hurt onto others, like Felumi actually said recently. While these statistics are disheartening, they can be used to create positive change. Examining the who and why associated with teens' sexual harassment can help parents and educators better tailor their conversation and prevention efforts. That means that I encourage all parents to talk to your children, because like young people, like starting from the age of 5, they can be sexually harassed and they can actually pass that on to others. So if you really want to prevent it, it's best to talk to your children. And parents who are silent tend to have children that express, when they get married in the future, they can sexually harass their wives, sexually harass other women, and the woman can do the same to men. That means that we must talk to our children, tell them what's up, tell them what sexual harassment is, and that way they won't be ignorant to the problem in the future, and they'll be able to educate others about this same problem. We are the Evolve Church. Thank you for listening.